Good morning. Welcome to the Boulder Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. I am Karen Griglak, your service leader for today, and I am joined by Service Associate Claire Marie Wall, Carmen Sandim, Shelley Barnard, and Debbie Larson are providing our music, and our tech team. Larry Sherwood, Kathy Partridge, and Deborah Mensch are making us be seen and heard. Our Reverend Lydia Ferrante Roseberry is currently away on study leave until the 16th, and then she will be back for a week. As I say our welcome words today, I want you to really take in these welcome words and imagine how it might change the way that you interact with people you are just getting to know. You are all welcome here today, in all of the beauty of languages, cultures, skin tones, shapes and sizes, gifts and challenges that come together in your uniqueness. You are welcome here. In all of the ways that you experience and express gender, you are welcome here. In the beauty that is who you love and how you love, you are welcome here. In all of the ways that you make your living and the places that you are from, you are welcome here. With all of the traditions that inform your spiritual life, you are welcome here. No matter how long you are away, nor how soon until you will return, you are welcome here. Whether you come with laughter in your heart or with tears, you are welcome here. You are invited to join us with an open mind, a loving heart, and willing hands. We welcome you here today. Oh, well.
Morning. So we get to create music together right away today. This first hymn is in the gray hymnal. It's number 131, Love Will Guide Us. That's the gray hymnal 131, Love Will Guide Us. And please rise, embody our spirit to join us.
This congregation commits ourselves to be a center for spiritual exploration and justice making, to anti-racism and anti-oppression work within and beyond our congregation. If you're new here, we're glad you found us and hope that in this community, whether you're with us in person or virtually, you can experience the warmth and love of this congregation. Each Sunday is different here, so please come back a few times to really get to know us. We have many opportunities during the week for social connection and spiritual growth. Those on Zoom can check out the links in the chat to help you get connected, and those in person can find a newcomer form in the QR code in the back of the hymnal, or stop by the welcome table in the foyer to get connected. Everyone on Zoom is welcome to stay for casual conversation following the service. If you're in person today, we invite you to coffee hour in the fellowship hall. If you're joining us on Zoom, feel free to greet each other in the chat. And if you're a newcomer, please let us know so we can greet you. We love to know who is among us. Those of you who are in the sanctuary, please take a moment to greet your neighbor. It's now time to light our chalice. If you have a chalice at home, you can light it with me. And Karen will light it here in the fellowship hall. We know where all our chalices are. Please write in the chat on Zoom, chalice lit, and the name of your town. And please say the words along with me as Karen lights it. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action. Now I'll sing our bowl again and invite you to draw deeper into the present moment and into this, our beloved community. Our opening words for this service today are from Neil Gaiman, from The Sandman. Have you ever been in love? Horrible, isn't it? It makes you so vulnerable. It opens your chest, and it opens your heart, and it means that someone can get inside you and mess you up.
Another chance to sing together. In your gray hymnal, number 95, I think the words are up on the screen as well, or they will be. Okay, so rise if you'd like, in body or in spirit. And let's see, there is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere.
we are doing something a little different today in that we are presenting a story for all ages, which is quite common in many UU churches. This is in celebration of International Non-Binary Day, July 14th. It is entitled My Shadow is Purple. Written by Australian Scott Stewart, the book explores gender identity beyond the binary. I should add a little context. When 5th grade teacher Katie Ritterly's class voted to read the book, a single parent objected after the fact. After 10 years of exceptional teaching, Ritterly, who is a Cobb County, Georgia teacher, has received notice of her public termination hearing on August 3rd. The objecting parent called this book pornographic. The administration and the state have called it divisive. Ritterly calls it inclusive and accepting. See what you think.
My Shadow is Purple, written and illustrated by Scott Stewart. My dad has a shadow that's blue as a berry, and my mom's is as pink as a blossoming cherry. There's only those choices, a 2 or a 1, but mine is quite different. It's both and it's none. If theirs are straight, then mine is a circle, for my shadow's different. My shadow is purple. My shadow loves playing with all sorts of toys, things left by girls and things left by boys. I dance with the pinks as they turn and they spin, and I play sports with the blues as they lose and they win. Some of my friends think I'm simply confused, but the thing I love most is not having to choose. Some tell me I'm blue, only blue can be strong. But my mom's strong too, so I think they're wrong. Some tell me I'm pink, 'cause pink's the most caring. But dad's always crying and loving and sharing. Why can't I love sport and dancing and trains and ponies and glitter and engines and planes? Why must I choose and exclude all the rest? I love choosing both because both is the best. And now it is time for the greatest event. The school dance is here. The invite's been sent. I'm ready to rock and I'm feeling cute. My mom made my skirt and my dad made my suit. I bounce through the door and I gasp as I enter. The room split in two, right down the center. Blue shadows go left and pink shadows right. Once we're split up, we'll kickstart this night. Everyone laughs as they head to their zones, and I'm right in the middle. I'm left all alone. I look to the left where the shadows are blue. They wave me over saying, "You are blue too." Then I look right as I struggle to think. They call me over. "Come on, you are pink." The teacher walks up looking rather amused. "I know you are different, but now you must choose." My heart just starts racing and tears fill my eyes. I know I must choose, but I don't understand why. The room has gone quiet and everyone's looking. My cheeks are so red, they feel like they're cooking. If I can't be purple, then I cannot stay. I'll leave and go home, I quietly say. I slowly start walking, my legs are like jello. A voice breaks the silence. "My shadow is yellow." eyes open wide, my shadow, it gawks. A child walks to the middle, looks up and talks. There's more than two colors our shadows can be. I was too scared before, but blue is not me. I know from outside blue fits like a glove, but my shadow's yellow, which to me feels like love. They turn with a smile and take hold of my hand. Who wants to join us? There's room here to stand. At first, no one moves. Then, a hand in the air. My shadow's as brown as a big grizzly bear. My shadow is red. Mine's silver, mine's green. Mine's violet, mine's orange, mine's aquamarine. They all rush to join us, whatever their color, blue, pink, and purple, and shadows called other. I look at each shadow, no two are the same. On each happy face, there's no trace of shame. Each different and special and fully unique. No color's stronger and no color's weak. The teacher comes over as we're joined as one. Whatever your color, start dancing, have fun.
Thanks for listening.
Each week, we remind ourselves of the abundance of our lives and community by giving half of our plate away to those organizations that share our values. Half of the summer plates will be given to our partner organizations that advocate and promote fair housing practices and housing opportunities. This week and next week's recipient, the Boulder County chapter of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, is committed to and advocates for the prioritized access to quality and adequate affordable housing, the proactive elimination of housing discrimination practices, including those that systematically pose barriers to securing fair housing, both public and private, and home ownership lending programs that purposefully accommodate qualifying families with low to moderate incomes. For more information, see their webpage at naacpbouldercounty.org. You can text your donation at the number on the screen, or if you are in the fellowship today, place a donation in the offering plate as it passes. Please give generously, as you so often do.
For the work of the fellowship and the NAACP, bringing love, reason, compassion, and justice into this world, we dedicate these offerings. I'm going to apologize right now. I still have a cough, but I am healthy otherwise. Deborah and I will do the best to make sure it's not that loud for you, but I'm going to apologize right up front. Welcome, everybody, with all of your beautiful shadows in all of their magnificent colors. This morning, I have the honor of starting off our summer series to introduce all of you to our new shared UU values that the Article 2 Commission proposed and received preliminary approval for at General Assembly a couple of weeks ago. Now, some of you are probably looking at me like I have two heads because you have missed the memo and have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm going to try to fix some of that today. So many of you have seen this flower. Its petals represent pluralism, generosity, justice, interdependence, equity, and transformation. Petals of a flower are nothing without a center from which their beauty comes. And our service today starts with that, with love at the center. The Article 2 Commission's charge reads as follows. We therefore charge this commission to root its work in love as a principal guide in its work, attending particularly to the ways that we and our root traditions have understood and articulated love, and how we have acted out of love. In our description for this service, Claire Marie and I stated the following. Having love at the center is caring, fulfilling, confusing, and as always, it's complicated. We, as UUs, do a lot of hard work out of love for our fellow humans, for the planet, and for everything in between. It's how we show that we care about that which is not just inside ourselves. Sometimes it's almost soul-crushing work. And yet, it's fulfilling to know that we have made a difference in this world, no matter how small. The caring part, the fulfilling part, those are the easy ones to see love at the center. And I'll come back to this in a little bit. The confusing, the complicated, well, Article 2 and the shared values are kind of hard to get our heads around for a lot of people. Change in the world is scary. Sometimes it's for the good, whether we can see it yet or not. Sometimes it's for the not so good or the downright terrible. So our first UU vote on these shared values passed at GA. But we still have one more year of discernment and discussion to discuss that scariness and that change before we have a final vote on them at next year's GA. So this proposed change has left people with a lot of questions, only some of which I can even begin to cover. First up, some people don't really like that flower. They liked the list of principles in our hymnal. Well, here's some news. The principles had a visual representation too. Oh, and the new proposed values? They also have a list. It's hard to remember that people learn and remember and see things in different ways. Some need to see it. Some need to read it. And some just need to hear it. Some people feel that the language is unclear, or it's wishy-washy, or it's too vague. And others have expressed that this language includes them in ways that the old language didn't. For example, we used to list several different religious traditions, and we didn't even list them all correctly. In our welcome words, but not long ago we changed it to with all of the traditions that inform your spiritual life. You are welcome here. Because we were never going to list them all, even when we were getting it mostly right. It's less specific, the new language, but includes a myriad of things that make you the person you are. I'm not saying that there might not be room for tweaking the language of Article 2, just that it might not need quite as much tweaking as some might feel it needs. And lastly, many have questions about this being a covenant. Who are we covenanting with? In what ways? What's the punishment or the consequence for breaking it? Individually or as a congregation? What does it all mean? They're all great questions, and just like the big questions in life, I don't have all the answers. In fact, I don't have most of them. But there are people around here who have more answers, like Reverend Lydia and Scott Yeomans, who is our current denominational affairs coordinator. And just like in life, those answers may not even exist yet, which is why the UUA is taking some time with this. So hopefully that confusing and complicated change won't be quite so complicated and confusing when we finally get there. So back to this love at the center thing that we started with. Those petals look really different if we don't place love at the center. So other people are going to cover these in a lot more detail over the course of the summer. So I'm just going to cover our little petals and what it looks like without love. And so I will read what that petal is and what the proposed language is, and then I'll follow it up. So pluralism. We celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology. We covenant to learn from one another in our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect. Well, xenophobia, anti-Semitism, and racism are on the rise in this country and around the world. Without centering love along with curiosity and respect for those who are different than us, we miss out on a wider understanding of the beautiful tapestry of different people and traditions, both faith and cultural, that make up this world. It's creating a world of color and wonder, and not just the black and white, and if we were lucky, sometimes gray, that many of us experienced growing up. Generosity. We cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships, of interdependence and mutuality. When we don't approach generosity with a spirit of love, we may come across as the people who make a big show of, "I'm so great. I gave these people money, and I helped to do this thing, and I am a good person." When we approach generosity centered around love, we help others where they are to the best of our abilities. Instead of operating under the golden rule, to do unto others as you would have them do unto you, we should remember the platinum rule. Do unto others as they would want done unto themselves, for they are not you. Justice. We work to be a diverse, multicultural, beloved communities where we all thrive. We covenant to dismantle racism and all forms of systemic oppression. We support the use of inclusive democratic processes to make decisions. Justice, restorative justice, inclusion, and not othering people all require love, empathy, and a desire to be in community with other people. Without love at the center, it creates a dichotomy of things or people, that they are all good or they are all bad, leaving us to be unable to see the good in a person or a situation. Justice without love and respect can lead to a sense of revenge or punishment or an unworthiness of who someone is. Interdependence. We honor the interdependent web of all existence. We covenant to cherish the earth and all beings by creating and nurturing relationships of care and respect. With humility and reverence, we acknowledge our place in the great web of life, and we work to repair harm and damaged relationships. As a pagan, I know that I am made of star stuff, and so is that tree outside, and the snake that slithers through my garden, and so are you, and you, and you. And my cat, and the mosquito that gave me the bug bite on my shoulder. It takes love to remember that all of this includes that snake that scares me, and that mosquito who may not have given me the most welcome of presents. But without the mosquito, what would the bats eat? And the bats also work as pollinators to help out the bees, who help keep the plants going, which we need to breathe and to eat. Those who don't operate with love do things such as cause total deforestation, overuse of herbicides, pollute our waters, and fail to see how hurting one big root on the tree can cause the entire tree to fail. Equity. We declare that every person has the right to flourish with inherent dignity and worthiness. We covenant to use our time, wisdom, attention, and money to build and sustain fully accessible and inclusive communities. When we don't use love, we wind up with equity. That sounds good, right? So say we have a wall that's maybe 5.5 feet tall. Not too bad. And there's a parade going on the other side. And the Apollo, who uses a wheelchair, Larry Sherwood back there, and I all want to see it. We are all given a 6-inch stool to stand on so that we can see. That's equality. Everybody's equal. We got the same thing. Well, there's a problem. Larry doesn't need the stool. He's 6 feet tall. He can see over the wall already. I still only get my forehead over the wall. And Apollo is holding onto the stool wondering, how is this going to work? If we love these people, we'll make a ramp or we'll build a door or a gate in the wall so that Apollo can see. We'll give me a 2-step ladder that's 12 or 14 inches so I can actually see over the wall. And Larry, he might want to borrow one of the 6 inches so he can see better, but he can still see over the wall. Larry no longer has to narrate the parade, and we can all just watch the floats and the marching bands go by on our own. And the last shared value that we'll be talking about this summer is transformation. We adapt to the changing world. We covenant to collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically. Openness to change is fundamental to our Unitarian Universalist heritages. Never complete and never perfect. I'm going to leave this one alone. Each Sunday, we will be covering a different value from these proposed Article 2 changes, which is never complete and never perfect. But we'll be learning and trying to do our best. Our opening words that Claire Marie shared with us were, "Have you ever been in love? Horrible, isn't it? It makes you so vulnerable. It opens your chest and it opens up your heart, and it means that someone can get inside you and mess you up." This work that we do, these changes, aren't easy, and it isn't easy. No love worth having is always easy, no matter who they are, a partner or a spouse, children or other family members, a friend, or even your community. All you can do is do your best to be that person you don't mind looking at in the mirror in the morning. And if you failed today, that's okay. You get to try again tomorrow. If you do that, all of the mess and all of the love and all of the changes, even when scary, are worth it. Blessed be. And now I invite us into our time of community connections and our time of sacred sharing. If you are on Zoom and you'd like to share a joy or a concern, please type into the chat window, sending it to everyone, and let us know briefly what is in your heart today. And I will read aloud what you share, and Claire Marie will add a stone to our sacred waters on your behalf. If you're in the sanctuary today, you can come up front and share your joy or concern using the microphone and add a stone to the waters. And you are always more than welcome to add a stone to the waters in silence, if that is your preference. Wherever you are, please share your name, where you live, and briefly let us know what is in your heart today. So I have a pastoral prayer for you all. It's sort of a blessing. And I will take a minute after each part to give you a moment of silence. Deep within the still center of my being, may I find peace. Silently, within the quiet of the grove, may I share peace. Gently or powerfully, within the greater circle of humankind, may I radiate peace. Blessed be.
So for this last hymn, to continue to hold on to this feeling of peace, please stay seated and look for your teal hymnal, number 1031. That's 1031 in the teal hymnal. So we'll be singing this 3 times total, and each time there'll be a subtle change of pronoun. May I be filled, may you be filled, may we be filled. I think the lyrics might be up here and we'll help too. No, we'll help. I, you, we.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May
we come to the necessary part of the service, our announcements. Now, Zoomies, please do not run away because we are doing announcements. We have lots of beautiful music still to come. First off, in the Mountain View room, following about 15 minutes after the service? In the Mountain View room, we will have Paul talking about what is currently going on in Ukraine and all of the love that people are sharing and the complications that there are with all of it. He would love for you to join him in the Mountain View room after you grab a cup of coffee. And if you are new to our fellowship or to Unitarian Universalism, or you just would like to know more about what in the world we are doing here this morning, please join us in the sanctuary at 11:30 today for the New to UU conversation about our congregation and about our faith. Following this service, please just go get yourself a cup of coffee in the fellowship hall and return here about 11:30. And now we will extinguish our chalice before we are blessed with Debbie and Shelley giving us more lovely music. If you all would join me in the words, "We extinguish this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, nor the energy of action. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again."
Every time I feel this way, this old familiar sinking, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry.
Hallelujah.
I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted by and by. I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. It's been said, and I do believe, as you ask, so shall you receive. So take from me these troubles, bring me sweet release, where the river will never run dry.
Hallelujah.
I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted by and by. I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. There is a river in this heart of hearts, with the knowingness of my highest good. I am willing, I will do my part, where the river will never run dry.
Hallelujah.
I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted by and by. I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. Where the river will never run dry. This river will never run dry.
So I am going to invite you all to rise in body or in spirit and either hold hands, touch shoulders, elbows, and if you don't feel like being touched today, give yourself a hug to let everybody know that I am more than enough. When we love, we always strive to become better than we are. When we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. Go forth into the world and share your love. Thank you, Paulo Coelho, for those words. Amen and blessed be.